right? I'm gonna bust this open and I'm gonna put this right here and I'm gonna write 5 by 7 because this is our most asked question during a live, right? Anybody agree with that? So 5 by 7 canvas. This canvas came from Michael's, and we are going to do a quick background. Let me tell you exactly what it is that, thank you, Judy. You just love me because you have to. I'm related. You just have to love me, right? I'm going to tape that down. Otherwise, it's going to be flying all over the place. And it's going to be crazy. What I'm going to do is make a flower, okay? I'm going to add a little bit of a background just so it's not stark white and it's nice and fresh. And then I am going to use some of these materials I've piled up on my desk. Some of them I may not use. And I'm just going to be 100% transparent with you right now and tell you I have no idea where these came from. These were sent to me last year, I think. They're little plastic flowers. Let me show you close up. They're little plastic flowers that somebody gifted me last year. They were in a box of things that I like to just scrounge through when I'm doing a live. And I actually tried to do a reverse image search to see where they came from. And I had no idea. So if anybody knows where these came from and would like to just throw it out there, I'd love to know. We're gonna do a little, excuse me, a little blue flower. We're gonna lay a little bit of glass down first, maybe clear, maybe one of these blue colors. And we're gonna add seed beads and then these petals, maybe some of this. We're just gonna play it by ear. But first thing we're gonna do is to paint our background. So you're prepared. So let me grab some color. And let's do, since our flower is gonna be blue, let's do a tiny bit of blue. Let me find a color I love. This one, a tiny bit of green, and some white. White, right? So we're just gonna do a quick little nothingness background. Yes, if you gifted these to me, I don't have any idea where they came from. If you gifted these flowers to me and know where they came from, we would love to know. And if anybody else knows where they came from, I would love to know that as well. I have no earthly idea. I've just found them and I was like, oh, why have I waited so long? Right? Why? All right, so wet brush. Let's get this party started. I'm gonna start with white. Unlock iPad. What? I'm gonna start with white. Any white will do. Aren't they cute? Maybe they came from Shane. I don't know. I'm gonna add, this is kind of dirty. I'm just gonna add a little dollop of white right onto my canvas, and I'm gonna spread it over the whole thing, all right? If you've been following me for a hot minute, you know I like starting with white because sometimes these colors are loud, and I don't really want a noisy background. I want the focus to be on the flower. So I like to tone my color down with a little bit of white. And this is just the way I do it, okay? Right, wrong, or indifferent, this is the way that I taught myself or the way that I have always kind of done this, all right? Now I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this desert turquoise and I'm gonna put that was a booger. I don't like that. I'm gonna put, let's see how tiny this is. 1, 2 tiny dots on the top. This is, yes, you could use the buttons, Lou, absolutely. Hauser green light. Check out, you guys, if you are new here, check out in the sewing department at Hobby Lobby, 1 dot. That's it, that's all my color. check out the button section at Hobby Lobby. Their buttons are always on sale, and they have some of the cutest flower buttons you could use for this situation, okay? Woo, I just threw them all over the floor. All right, so I'm gonna start in my green, and I'm just going to get another dot. That wasn't enough. He's sad now. Let's add another dot. Well, that's why it's look at that. That's terrible. That's kind of chunky. And that was too much. See, that's what I get. I'm gonna add a little more white. All right, let's see. I want to tone that down. I did not want it to be that dark, so we'll tone that down. I'm going to just carry it to the side since I have 24 gallons of that green. Just carry it over. And I'm just going to make just a little bit of color. Nothing fancy. I'm going to offload on my paper towel, and then I'm going to take this blue, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go like this, because I want it to be, I don't want it to be blended out like this. I'm just going to add, oh, I am totally digging that. And smooth that edge out. Hey, I like this. I'm not even gonna do the edges on the red. Let's dry this and see what happens. All right, that's super cool, y'all. Look at that. That turned out really pretty for something that was about to be a disaster, didn't it? Oh, they do have a fabric section, but I like their button sections. I like their buttons. Desert turquoise. It's not a section so much as it is just a rack. It's just one rack of buttons. Yeah, a turnstile, that's what it is. All right, let's get this dry. And this is all the painting we're gonna do. 3 colors, white, green, and blue. Voila. All right, now let's let that cool a second. I will stick my brush in the water. And while that's cooling, give me 10 seconds to go and get a cup for our resin. Sorry about that. Let me grab one. All right, Julie, the next time you come over, tell Kristen she's fired because she's supposed to be the one to keep things on my desk. I had to go get a little cup so I could mix in. All right, so I think, I don't know where my Hobby Lobby buttons are, or I would show them to you. And if you remind me after we're done, I'll see if I can't look for them and see if I can show you what they look like. In the meantime, we're gonna do a flower, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna start with a little bit of, I'm trying to find my vitrigraph. And I want it to be, okay, this is called vitrigraph. I can't fire Kristen. This is called vitrigraph, and it's just stringy glass, okay? We're gonna break off a piece of this and use it for our stem. I also have a couple of leaves that I cut from a vase, okay? This was a vase that I got probably on, actually this was a flower vase from where I got flowers, okay? So I just cut it with my nippers and made little bitty leaf shapes out of that. All right, so we're gonna use these as our leaves for our flower. And we're gonna put it about right there. I'm gonna break off a bit. I actually want a little bit of a fatter bit of vitrigraph. And I want something a little, look at this piece, y'all. This is really green, but look how cool. This is the super curvy. I may use that. Let's do that. I'm just gonna break it right here. Taking my life into my own hands. All right. Look at that. That is perfect. So, if it is fat, you need to use your nippers. If it's the skinny side, you can pretty much break that with your hands. I would suggest using gloves when you do that because you can't cut yourself. I was just taking my life into my own hands right then and there for no reason whatsoever. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I was thinking about, because I'm doing blue, I wish I had Caribbean blue, but I do not, sadly. That is unavailable forever, I guess, I don't know. But I do have like this fat. This is the 1/2-inch Caribbean that we have, so I may use that because it really looks good. Look, it looks good with that, with the blue. So let me just try to shape out like some sort of flower and just kind of a cone almost, and we'll see what happens. So let's get, I'm gonna leave this up here and kind of keep it as my shape. So let's just start adding some glass just as our base, just kind of as a form, because we're gonna add a bunch of fun stuff to this. All right, we can do this piece here. I need one that's got a little bit of a curve to it. Oh, right there. Look at that. That's a good start right there. Look at there. Okay, so let's do that. And let's put a little nuggie in the center. So I'm just really free-forming just a little bit of a flower shape and like a cone shape. I don't know what kind of flower I'm making. I'm just talking out the side of my head, really. Let's see here. Let's do, this can be the end of it. And that can be the tippy part. This is some seriously technical flower making right here, don't you agree? Like, oh, all these fancy terms. So I'm just kind of squishing in a few little nugs of glass to create a flower shape. And I think I'm there. Maybe one little baby piece right there. Look at that. All right, that's how we're starting. I probably should make it a little bit fatter, a little bit taller. Let's go up a little. Let's add a few more nugs. That looks more like it. That looks more like it. All right, we need a little nug here. And maybe a little nug here. Little nugs here and there. Put a little nug there. And I think that's gonna do it for me. That is much better than what we had. I've got a little bit of a mess here. I'm just literally gonna move it over. And we'll sweep that away and we'll pick that up in a minute. Isn't that pretty? All right, so that is how we're gonna start. And we are actually, I know this is gonna seem bass-ackwards. My mom loves to say that, y'all, bass-ackwards. I know this seems bass-ackwards, but we are going to go ahead and resin because everything else that we're adding, I wanna resin this, and then we're gonna add in some of these seed beads and some of these petals and some of these cone-shaped beads, and then we'll drizzle a little more. That's what it looks like, a hyacinth. We'll add a little more resin on top of that too. But I want to get started with my resin so this doesn't move, and so that all of our beads that we're going to lay on top will have something to stick to, so we don't have to use a bunch of glue. All right, so let's go ahead. Did all our mamas said that? Of course they did. Let's go ahead and mix some resin now that I found my cups. I'm gonna grab some gloves and I'm gonna mix, let me look. Ow, dagnabbit. I'm gonna mix 1.5 ounces. I don't know that we'll need that, but that's a lot of chunky glass. Thank you, Catherine. So I'm gonna mark my cup at 3/4 ounce. That's for my hardener. And then I'm gonna mark it again at 1.5. That's my resin. So we're gonna do 3/4 and 3/4 for 1.5 ounce total of resin. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to y'all? All right. When I do a live on this page, Terry, it is here for always. All right, so you can come back and watch at any time. We do not ever delete these lives. So you can find a replay a few minutes after we're done. It usually processes. This is 1/2 inch. A few minutes after we go off is when it processes. So, and then it stays on here for always. So hardener, right, Amy? I've done that so many times lately. 1/2 inch of 3/4 ounce of hardener. I already feel like this is going to be too much. And I got to watch the time too. We good on time, y'all? Good on time. What time is it? Somebody tell me the central time. Resin, 3/4 ounce. There we go. And we are going to mix, all right? So I'm gonna take my little 549, I got an hour. I'm gonna take my little stir stick and we're gonna mix this for 3 minutes. Catherine is gonna time me and let me know when time is up, and then probably I'm not gonna see it, and then she's gonna fuss at me and tell me to stop. Catherine does her very best to keep me in line, and sometimes it is a full-time job. Right, Catherine? So, now is a good time to ask any questions. I got 3 whole minutes of stir-in to do. I'm stirring really gently, softly, scraping the sides of my cup, scraping the bottom, mixing this up, and don't cheat yourself. Always do 3 minutes. So if anybody has any questions about the shattered circle or about boot camp or anything like that, the resin process, just let me know. I would love to answer any questions you have. I don't want you to miss out on this bonus. This is a once in a lifetime. I'm not gonna say once in a lifetime. We have never done this before, okay? We have never given a kit with our early bird bonus before. So it is something special. Tell them, ladies, it is something special. We really were trying to think of how we could make it super special, and to be able to gift a small kit with the early bird bonus to help the new people get started was the best thing we could think about. You did not miss it, Kathy. I haven't posted it yet because I've been in Facebook crazy town, but I am going to get that posted before tomorrow, okay? So don't miss out. I promise you'll know. All right? I do have this glass in 1/2 inch, Rita. We just don't have it in 1/4 inch. Yay, Elena! Send an email, Elena. It should automatically cancel, but don't get me to line because I don't want to tell you that it does and then it doesn't. So send an email and we'll make sure that cancels, okay? All right. No, it did not get straightened out, Pat. I am still completely devastated. The only saving grace is that I'm still able to post and I'm still able to go live, but I do not own my page. Luckily for me, though, Facebook has frozen it so that, honestly, I guess Facebook owns it. And, you know, if we're all being truthful, they owned it before. Thank you, Catherine, I see. So it's called a silicone. Look at all y'all yelling at me. It's called a silicone applicator, Joanne. It's great for resin because you can just wipe it off and reuse it 1,000 times. And if resin dries on it, you can just peel it off. Isn't that great? All right, so I am going to drizzle some resin over what we already have. And we'll get that covered. And then we're gonna work on the tidbits. We're gonna do the good stuff. Make it look super fancy. So let's get all this covered. I'm just talking out my nose. If it were upside down, that is true. We need to tint some, some glass. Oh, now I'm gonna have to do some fruits. We need to tint some 1/2 inch clear to purple and do some grapes, don't we? Now you got me thinking. One of the girls in the membership did some strawberries and I'm dying to do those. I don't want to copy her, but I'm dying to make some strawberries because they were so cute. They were so cute. I'm going to go ahead and spread this. I got a little cat hair in there. We'll take that off. We don't want that. And I'm going to go ahead and spread this out. Be still, little leaf. Oh, let me get some on my little piece of vitrigraph. And then we're going to make some serious magic happen. We're going to take this flower. It's already top notch, but it does kind of look grapey. We're going to take it up a level and do something really fun. And we have way too much resin. And my concern is, whoever said that, was it Amy? My concern is I don't have time to do anything about it. Probably could have used 1/2 ounce. All right. So it's all covered with resin really nicely and spread out. Hello, Joanne. So now I'm going to decide what I want to do next. Okay, so one of the things I have is some of the seed beads from our Sunflower Challenge. I have a bunch of random seed beads. I think I'm going to start with those. These are called crystal turquoise. We are going to open this sucker up, I think. We're going to open this sucker up and use some of these right on top of our 1/2 inch. We're just going to sprinkle and spritz. All right, so I'm just going to take these seed beads and we're just going to sprinkle some right on top of what we got going here. We'll go along the edge too. I'll scooch those in a minute. We're not gonna micromanage them yet. All right, so that was the crystal turquoise. Now I have a little bit of this crystal sea foam. We're just gonna go crazy with seed beads. Let me show you this up close so you can kind of see. Now it's a little far. All right, so that's what it looks like now. So I'm gonna just take a few of these other ones. They're kind of iridescent, just for a little something different. We'll sprinkle some of that in. I just completely ransacked my seed bead collection. I want to use these two. They're not quite as blue. They're kind of green. And I'm going to use those. They're called Inside Turquoise. Inside Turquoise. They're a little different, but we're going to use them just for a little pop of something different. We are going to town on the beads. All right, so I'm going to put those in my stack of that's what we used. Now, I'm going to take that little leftover pack of beads that I have for my sunflower, and I'm going to dump them on here too. But you know why? Because I can. I'm going to actually put them in this cup so that I don't make a big mess. I just want a variety of seed beads and color. And then we're going to put our little buttons or our little other flowers that we don't know where they came from right on top of that. I'm actually going to drizzle just a little bit of resin right on top of those seed beads. Get another layer of resin for our next layer, right? All right, what do you think so far? Let me show this to you close up. So there we have that so far. Ah. All right, so now I'm gonna start adding some of these ambiguous flowers. We don't have any idea where they came from, but we're gonna add a few. Let me add a little more resin. We're gonna add some here and there. And we want our seed beads to show through. My hair is in my mouth. Now these have a little hole in the center. I don't know if you can see that. And we're gonna sprinkle some little seed beads right in there as well. So I'm just gonna keep adding. I'm gonna fill this sucker up. We'll overlap a few if we need to. Let's fill it up. And we'll put one here. We'll stick one right in there. And I think that's enough. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get any more on. Let me see if I can press one right in here. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take my resin and drizzle again on top of these flowers. This is so cute. I am going to show you this close up in just a second. All right, let me show you. Cute. That is so dimensional too. That is stinking adorable. All right, so let me take these gloves off. I'll probably have to get some more for the resin, but for now, I need my fingers. I need them to let me go. All right, this is just a random bag of beads as well. This is the art piece that I don't know where anything came from, except for the seed beads. So I'm gonna dump these out because there are a couple of blue ones in here. I kind of want to just throw in. So I'm just gonna throw in some blue ones in the spaces that between my other flowers. Just stick that in. This one's kind of blue-green, but we're going for it. And this one's a baby blue, but again, we're gonna go for it. And we'll put this one here. This is just a pile up, isn't it? This is a pile up. Let's see. This is a clear one. Let's do it right there. And this one's green. I'm going to add it in anyway. And another green. Right there. All right, let me show you this close up. I want to be still for a minute so you can see, because I know you can't see when it's far away. It's just a blob, but look at that. All right, now we're gonna do one more thing. I think I'm gonna add a couple more of these. I just love them. We'll We'll add one here and one here. Oops. Poo-poo. Hang on. Don't get too wiggly. Don't get crazy. And I can't stop y'all. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. I'm going to add one more and then I'm going to stop. We'll stick it right there. All right. I'm going to grab my resin. I'm going to try to like use my little thingy as a glove. I'm going to drizzle just a little more on top of those beads I just put in to just make sure they're stuck down. Y'all, this is so cute. I am just outdoing myself over here. All right, and I'm gonna do one more thing. All right, I'm gonna clean this up because I don't wanna lose these beads. I don't wanna lose them. I gotta put these where, I don't even know where these came from, but I'm gonna try to find these flowers for y'all again. And if not, I will remind you where to find the buttons from Hobby Lobby because it will work just as well. Now, last thing I'm gonna do is I have these crystal beads and I'm gonna put one in the center of all of these flowers that I don't know flowers, just to give it a little centerpiece, all right? So I'm gonna try to do this without making a mess. I think I'm actually gonna I'll dump a few in this cup and I'm gonna try to just put a few in the middle of those flowers. Ought to just sprinkle a bunch. Watch this. We'll just hit 2 or 3 in the center of every flower. So every flower has a little center. I don't know why I was trying to place them like a crazy person. Girl, me and you both. Every time I go in there, Steve's like, Steve, he don't even like that I make him go into Hobby Lobby with me, but it's just part of his job as far as I'm concerned. And he's like, why are you buying buttons? I don't get it. Y'all, this is so pretty. I'm just going crazy. Look at that. Let's find that top. Let's put this in the pile of stuff we used. And, oh my gosh. I'm gonna just one more little dab of resin. And then I actually think all these pieces that are all over the place, I think I'm gonna leave them. I'm actually thinking about adding a few more on the other side because I actually like it, just that little bit. It's like it's blowing in the wind. Oh my goodness, y'all. All right, let me show y'all this up close and personal because this is fantastical. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do as well, okay? Yeah, I decided not to. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do as well. This is so pretty. I'm gonna heat it up first, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do after that. Let me pop my bubbles. I am gonna gift this adorable flower to someone on, what's today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So all you have to do for your name to be in the hat, to be gifted, this is what? Somebody tell me. All you have to do is sprinkle. Let your friends know that we're here making all this beautiful art. Maybe sprinkle my post where I am encouraging people to join. If you know somebody that you think is an artist who might like to join, just let them know, because that's the only way we can get people, because we can't run ads. So if you do, share it and come back and let me know that you did. I'll put your name in a hat and we will gift this lovely, what did we decide? It was a hyacinth? This lovely flower to someone who shared the love, right?